that. Anyway, it's the middle of the night. I got myself some hard lemonade. And I got myself my blue controller. I'm gonna play some single-player skirmish. Maybe talk about the game a little bit. Because I've posted a lot of developer logs, but I haven't actually shown any like video gameplay or anything like that. So we won't talk about characters first. We'll talk about orbs and elemental stuff. Well, there's 7 elements in this game, and your elements turn into like orbs on the board, which you use to match 3. If you match 3 in a row vertically, they turn into an attack, and they fly across the board and hit your opponent's stuff. They mess up their patterns and hit their backboard to deal damage to their health. If they run out of health, then you win the game. And then if you match sideways, you make walls to defend against incoming attacks. And so each orb element has a different charge time, damage amount, and wall health. Fire is kind of a middle ground, but it also burns its things on fire, so they take damage over time. Earth is really slow to charge, but it has good wall health. Water moves slowly across the screen. Whenever an attack is flying towards you, your board is frozen. You're not allowed to do anything on your board. So water moves slowly. It kind of makes it difficult for your opponent to set off combos. Air ignores idling orbs. It doesn't mess up your opponent's patterns as well, but it can get an extra chip damage. Lightning is very, very quick to charge, but it doesn't do very much damage. And these wall healths are low. For air and lightning, they got low wall health. Ice is freezy freeze. If it hits a charging attack, then it will freeze it for like 6 seconds, 9 seconds. And the walls have the highest wall health in the game, but they decay over time because they're like melting. And then, I can't highlight poison or fire because they're already selected with Mara. But poison is kind of like fire. It's a middling damage, middling charge time. And the difference is poison does less damage over time, but more damage overall because the poison effect generally lasts much longer than the fire effect. So 10 seconds of fire damage, I believe, is 5 damage total. And if we go 18 seconds of poison damage would be 6 damage over 18 seconds, or 5 over 10. That is what I believe I set it to, but it's really hard to remember these things. Anyway, I think that Gunpowder Pack is my favorite. It's probably the most unique in the code, because it just sets a huge area of things on fire. And that's just really neat. So the game moves pretty quickly after it starts. You got tons of attacks that can go off. I'm gonna set off a bunch of stuff here. There's a cross, gives me a bunch of mana. I'm gonna move back. So whenever you make a combo, you get a little bit of mana, and then you get your move back. And you can get moves in addition. Oh, I stole my poison orb. You can get moves in addition. Like, you don't just get your moves back. You set off a huge combo, you can end up with more moves than you started with. Yeah, so yeah, I just went up and moved back, I think. Go from 1 to 2. And my ultimate is ready, you can see that. You charge your ultimate by getting mana. You can do that by making crosses, setting off combos, or charging Mega Orbs. This Mega Orb is actually about to go off, so I'm going to preempt it with the fire to weaken up the walls. There we go, that's huge damage. just need to set off a couple of attacks. I'll just line up a few and wait for them to shoot off. It's not like these bots are remarkably smart anyway. I can at least reinforce, maybe make a wall or two so that I don't die to something stupid. Yeah, easy. Easy clap. There's no victory screen. In the future, I want to have like a slide up your stats, how much damage you did per second or whatever. How many combos you made, like what percentage of your move was earned over time, what percentage of your move was earned through combos. Well, each character's got a bunch of different kinds, different styles of specials. You got Mara and Ryan have damage that shoots across the board. You got Jeffrey and Leo are defensive. They've got 2 variations on making additional walls. Lily is unique. Lily just gives you extra energy, and it's super cheap, so you can, if you use Lily correctly, you can chain combo into 4 moves, which means you get your super. Your super gives you 4 additional energy, and you can use those to make combos. Which goes back and forth between making moves and activating your super. That's pretty neat. And you got, I think, 3 freezing type. That is Kayla, Umbra, and which Virgo? No, not Virgo. Karma. Karma's the other freezing one. Karma freezes everything for 24 seconds. Umbra only freezes one thing, but it freezes for a whole minute, which is a very long time. It can stall out a super orb for the duration of the match. And Kayla only freezes things for a short duration, but it also reduces their damage, which can also eliminate attacks entirely. And Oma and Tanner have variations on sending things from your board immediately. Oma will send all of the attacks immediately and give them 5 extra damage, while Tanner will send all of his walls as attacks. Actually, Tanner's is super busted, because he's that's just Earth here, because it's got a high wall health, and of course Ice has high wall health, and one of these artifacts here says your ice walls do not decay, which means they'll stick around at 7 or 14 health, depending on how many stack into each other. And 14 times 8, 12, 16, however many you build is usually enough to just end the match outright. That was gonna be so big. There we go. We're making progress on the walls. I messed up. Timings and everything. Make more walls. If you're playing like Tanner or Aloro, you just want to build walls because you can turn into attacks later. Sometimes, just want to have a wall there. But with other characters, you do not want so many walls because it just makes it very difficult to make attacks because all the walls fill up your orb count. By which I mean you're only allowed 32 orbs at a time. Whenever you pull the reinforce trigger, it gives you orbs until you have 32. What are you trying to pick up the wall for? You can't pick up walls. The bot's not very smart there. So you can never have more than 32, and most of your orbs are walls, which can't be moved or comboed with, and you're kinda screwed. It's not easy to work around that. I'm gonna make a wall, and I'm gonna launch my super. Here we go. Yeah, I didn't get anything easy. Alright, we'll launch it. Oh, sound effects. Okay. Noted, don't play 10 sound effects at the same time. That's no good. Ah, chronic desync. That means I just get to sit and wait. Red wins. Damn. I was not paying that much attention, I'll be honest. It's just chilling. Playing. Alright, I'll do one more. We will show off, because we showed Mara, had some fun fireballs doing that. I think Lulu's a unique one. The defensive ones aren't really that fun to show off. They're good, they're strong. It is very hard to defeat them. But they're not flashy. I like using lightning. And Sunspear is good. Sunspear is good for getting, for messing up the patterns, and Sunspear is very, very good for sniping uncharged Mega Orbs. Of course, I disabled Mega Orbs on the bots because the bots just do not know how to pick them up and put them down. They get stuck in loops trying to put them down even though they can't find the right spot for them. It's an easy fix. It's just something I have to go and actually do. Yeah, because I'd like that to be still open. Oh, I got rid of the wall instead of the... Already have the good. I need more lightning orbs. Oh. I instantly charged that, kind of. It is a good thing that the enemy is using the air horn, or they would have messed up my pattern so many times over. Tons of stuff just clogging up that center. We're going to send a bunch of attacks out here. We want lightning. There's no lightning. There, lightning here. And here. I am at such low health. Oh, there's a bunch of attacks came off at me. Cross would be good. I'm gonna die. I think that's gonna kill me. So yeah, it turns out that the chip damage from air horn absolutely outweighed the fact that it did not destroy my patterns in that particular game. As a player, I find it annoying when I can't eliminate my opponent's patterns, but the bots act so quickly, they just put out more damage than any human player could. Especially, actually, I'm gonna go into settings here and turn up the AI speed to 100. We do bot versus bot, and we can watch that. Alright, we got Hannah, those junk orbs, and then the dumb bitch over there does freezes your action pool, sets you to -2. Anyway, these bots are not perfect. these are the bots that use the heat maps. They really like making attacks with drops, and they like making walls with deletions. I tried to balance it. The more walls they have, the less likely they are to make more walls. Oh, that's right, I changed it. Hannah doesn't do junk orbs anymore. It used to be that Hannah did the junk orbs and Ivanka did the like a poison wave. But I'm like, oh, that's silly. I think the fire wave or the wave status effect should go to the fire, because fire does more faster damage. And also Ivanka's earth poison made sense to go on a poison character. The junk orbs made sense to go on a poison character because poison's theme was going to be junk orbs. Well, I don't understand why the fire and water character has this junk orbs ability. I've got a leftover ultimate in the code, which may or may not have made it into the build. I don't know how Unity does the compilation. The old fire water ultimate, it's not assigned to a character, so you can't actually access it. Bots set to 100 are really intimidating, but because they're limited by actions just like a regular player would be, they're actually not that much stronger than a bot set to 10. A bot set to 5 or less will start to suffer, because they can't even use all their actions before they regenerate more. The only situation in which going faster for the bots actually does matter is if they're trying to set up an attack or a combo before your attack goes off, and like if your attack is going to destroy the column they're trying to work on. You should see kind of delete like this orb here. Oh, maybe this one, maybe that one, or just use the fire wave immediately. Jesus, they move so fast. It's kind of intimidating, even though I know they're not that good at the game. That was instant. I think Hannah's got it. 2 health. 12. Shoot, 8 seconds, and the fire's gonna take off most of that. Yeah, it's close. 6, 5, 0. They're gonna drop. If they pick up an ice orb, they got it. Nope. Not time. I think a human player could have saved that from the red player's perspective. Alright, that was fun. It's time for me to go to bed. Then I'm gonna post this tonight, like without editing, and tomorrow I'm gonna wake up, look at my YouTube account, and say, who the fuck logged in, who posted shit on my account?